Good morning, guys. Susie here. Today, for our lesson, we're going to be talking about nature. So, I thought we could go for a nature walk and see what kinds of birds we could spot in our local neighborhood. It is, after all, spring. And so, let's see what we find along the way. What little bits of nature we can appreciate on this beautiful, sunny April day. As you can see, I have my protective mask on. I'm going to be wearing it today because that is the rule in Miami-Dade County and in so many counties here in Florida and really throughout the United States. So let's go. Come join me. Let's go on our walk. So I'm starting my nature walk today in my own neighborhood. And what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be taking a shortcut through a canal that I have in my block. That area doesn't have a lot of people in it, and so I'm hoping that we can see some of the local birds and fish and maybe even turtles that I've seen as I walk to stay healthy. So walking down my block just now, and I'm noticing that I'm hearing a lot more birds than I normally hear. The reason for that is because there's less traffic. So the birds are less scared to come down off the trees. Have you noticed more birds in your backyard or your neighborhood? I bet you have. Another thing that I'm noticing when I go for my walks is that I'm seeing a lot more people out and about. So I'm seeing neighbors that I usually don't see. And while we're keeping a safe distance, it's nice to run into people and to have the opportunity to say hello from a safe distance and to connect, right? Because right now we're all in our own homes and maybe we're not connecting in the way that we're used to connecting, but there are still ways to connect, and there's especially some great opportunities now to connect with the people in our own families and in our own group homes. I've noticed that a lot of my friends are playing more board games together or watching television together in a common room instead of everybody going to their own rooms. And I'm seeing a lot of families out riding bicycles. In fact, a friend of mine went to Target the other day to try to buy a bicycle, and they were all sold out. So people are getting outdoors, keeping the safe distance, but getting some exercise in as well. You might notice on your nature walk that there does seem to be a lot of leaves on the ground. And the reason for that is because South Florida, we don't really have fall, do we? Some of our leaves fall off the trees, but our trees do stay green throughout the year. But right now, these trees are shedding their old leaves and the new spring and summer leaves are coming in. So pretty soon everything's going to be a lot greener, and that's why there are a lot of leaves on the ground at the moment. So I live near Tamiami Executive Airport. You can hear the airplanes, but if we're very quiet for just a moment, we can hear something else. Do you hear that? Yes, that's the airplane, but it's also the wind rustling through the trees. Normally, when there's a lot of traffic and I go for a walk, I can't hear the wind rustling through the trees. So maybe that's a blessing of this virus, that we get to hear more natural sounds instead of more busy sounds. Gosh, I love the sound of leaves through trees. It's so relaxing. So through this fence back here, is our community pool. And our community pool is currently closed due to the COVID-19 virus. They don't want people getting together in the pool and maybe making each other sick. So maybe your pools are closed in your communities as well for the same reason. And while that does take away something fun that maybe you could be doing, it is keeping you safe. So we have to be grateful for all those communities around us that are doing their best to keep all of us safe by putting measures like that in place. I'm wearing my face mask because, as you can see, there are people walking around in my neighborhood, and I wouldn't want to maybe have a conversation with any of them and get sick by mistake. But something that we can do, maintaining a safe social distance but still being friendly, is we can wave to our neighbors. And they'll wave back. And who knows? Maybe we'll be a better community when this whole thing is over. So down that way, there's a lady walking her dog. I don't know if you guys can see. So what I'm going to do when I pass her is I'm going to make sure that I'm maintaining that social distance, that I'm not getting closer to her than 6 feet. So let's see how we do that. Cute little puppy too. So cute. Thank you. Bye. And it's important to thank our neighbors for keeping that distance as well, isn't it? Now we're getting to my favorite part of my neighborhood walk. And that is a little alley between the houses. Actually right near Lisa's house, our social services Lisa. It's a little alleyway, and the alleyway goes straight to the canal. And the canal is one of my favorite spots in my neighborhood to walk, because that's usually where I see really cool birds. Let's hope they're out today so I could share that with you. So already I've discovered some evidence of Mother Nature springing back to life. If you look up there, that tree has some fresh, brand new mangoes, and they're starting to ripen. By the end of summer, they'll be nice and big and juicy and ripe. But right now, there's lots of other animals that enjoy them too. You see, that's been eaten by maybe a bird or a squirrel or even a raccoon. But even though it's only half eaten, now there's lots of tiny little insects on it, enjoying what's left of it. And I think that's pretty cool. And now we're coming to the canal. And when we get to the canal, if it's safe, I can take off my mask if I'm not going to be running into anyone. So this is my local canal, and actually over there's a young lady enjoying the sunshine. If you look behind me, there is a very long canal, and I see some ducks. Let's go have a look at the ducks. So here are the ducks from our canal. Normally, there's a lot of people fishing or a lot of noise. Right now there's someone hammering, probably doing a home project during the virus. But it doesn't seem to be bothering these ducks. They're enjoying some time, and if you look carefully, you can see there's also like dragonflies dancing on the canal. And dragonflies and butterflies are always a sign of a healthy ecosystem. One of the things that I love to do when I'm out is look for feathers. And look at that. I've got a great feather. You see how it shimmers a little bit of green in the sunlight? I'm going to keep that feather and I'm going to take it home, and maybe we could use it on our project next week. And there's a dragonfly. Remember I told you about the dragonflies and the butterflies? Isn't that a pretty dragonfly? I love dragonflies and butterflies. I think they're very cool. And dragonflies kind of look like little airplanes to me. Very nice. Another thing that I love spotting on my outings is how funny nature is. So here, as you can see, there aren't very many flowers. There's the back gardens of people's houses, but not very many flowers. But here, surprisingly, growing in the middle of the side of the canal are these sweet little bells. Aren't they pretty? If you look carefully, there's also a palm tree just growing there out of nowhere. And one of the things that we do on nature walks is we respect nature, right? So we're not going to pluck that. We're not going to pick it. And there's a tiny yellow butterfly on that. There it is. Flitting along. I'm discovering while we're living in this quarantine life that it's important to notice and appreciate the little things, like that tiny little butterfly that keeps flying around. So up ahead I spy some more birds. I don't know if any of you guys know what kind of birds those are. They look like crows, but I'm not sure. Normally that street behind them would be very busy, but today, as you can see, there's only a few cars passing to and from, and hopefully that's people getting things that they absolutely need. Or maybe they're doctors and nurses getting to work. You never know. So I thought that as I got closer, those birds would fly away, but they're still there. What do you think they're doing? So that bird is eating. Maybe it's having breakfast, maybe lunch, but it is eating. I think it's very cool to watch birds eat. They have to work very hard for their food, don't they? They have to peck at the ground and hope that they catch a bug or a worm. Next week we're going to build a backyard bird feeder together so that we can invite birds to come to our gardens. I think it's so cool. Look, he's not afraid of me at all. I'm trying to be as sneaky as I can, but watch him eat. Oh, I see. If you look carefully, he's got pieces of grass in his mouth. So that bird is going to build a nest. You see he's plucking lots of bits of grass. That grass is not for eating. He's going to fly off way up there. And that bird is building a nest in that tree. So cool. So I thought that today on our walk, I would also be picking up some garbage, because usually people are not very tidy, are they? How many times have you been to a park and you've seen lots of rubbish laying all around? Well, I'm happy to say that in my neighborhood, it seems like everyone's taking pretty good care of our area. And I haven't seen a single thing of garbage that I need to pick up. So that's pretty impressive for the crossings in Kendall. Very pleased. So sadly, I think I spoke too soon. If you look behind me, right there, there is some garbage. And that's not good for the poor animals, because they can get that wrapped around their neck, or, swallow it. That's not good for the animals. So let's be mindful of our planet. When we're out in the community, let's make sure that we are, as the Boy Scouts say, leaving it better than we found it, and not contaminating the area with garbage. Rubbish belongs in the bin, not on the ground. So remember, after you use those latex gloves or those disposable masks, don't just ditch them wherever. Take them to the garbage can. That's where they belong, after all. So now that I'm back on the street next to where I live, I'm going to put my mask back on. And the reason I'm doing that is because I don't know if someone will come jogging or walking or even cycling in the opposite direction. So I'm going to put my mask back on. And guys, I know that these masks are sometimes uncomfortable. I know that they can be hot. But please, don't not wear them. This is one that my son gave me. It's a made one. And I'm going to be making some myself later for some other people in my family that don't have them. Like Miss Carolina did. She inspired me. However, even if they're uncomfortable, it's our job to wear them right now. We absolutely have to. Not just so that you can stay safe, but so that we can keep others safe around us. So I want to show you my street, because normally my street is just rammed full of traffic. And right now, there's an occasional car, but there isn't like tons and tons like there normally is. Which is good, because it means that people are doing what they need to be doing. They're staying home. And I hope that you're doing the same. I hope that you're not going out unnecessarily and risking yourself or others around you. I kind of definitely like it better this way. I like Miami with less traffic congestion. How about you? So now we've reached a part of my neighborhood where it's nice and peacefully quiet. And I'm going to slow down my walk, because I'm hoping that my microphone here picks up the birds. I don't know if you can hear that, but I can hear lots of pretty bird songs that I haven't heard before. And if you're someone who likes nature, that's a good sign. Let me see where I can stop. so that you guys can hear it. I think once I turn this corner here, there's a happy little songbird in a tree there. Let's see if we get away from the main road and we can hear it. Can you hear the birds? I also love the sound of my crunching footsteps on grass. It's one of my favorite sounds. Listen. Love it. And there's the wind through the trees again. Oh, it's so nice. Plus, I'm also getting out. I'm getting some exercise. I'm moving. You know, your instructors, we've been filming a lot, which means a lot of time sitting down. And I'm used to in CBE being out in the community, moving around, taking you guys to lots of places. So just being at home and sitting all the time, it's a different kind of exhausting, isn't it? So quiet without all that traffic. I love it. Oh. Now, one of the things that I wanted to remind you of is that it's very important, even when you're walking in your own neighborhood, to make sure that you're looking out constantly for cars, and especially right now, people on bicycles. If you see a family on a bicycle coming towards you or behind you, it's a good thing to be polite and move out of the way. You know, their wheels need the pavement to work properly. You wouldn't want a little kid, you know, kind of getting nervous and running off into the grass and falling off their bike, would you? I certainly would not. More neighbors to wave at. Had a really nice walk today with you. And I hope that you joined me and that you also had a nice walk. If you didn't, you can have a nice walk later. Maybe take a short video of you walking and send it to me. Or send it to whoever the teacher that is calling to check up on you is. Because we love to see and hear what you guys are up to. And here I am, back home. Well, I enjoyed that walk. And I hope that you did too. We got to see some interesting things. I even got a feather. How exciting. And we saw some birds building a nest or gathering the materials to build a nest. We saw some butterflies and dragonflies. We saw some ducks enjoying the nice even water of the canal. And I got some exercise. So we're good for today, yeah? Okay, guys. See you in a bit. So as you can see, I'm back in my house. That was a really nice walk today. As you could tell in the video, I was a little bit out of breath because I was trying to walk fast and really make it a good exercise walk, not just, you know, a casual, slow walk. I really wanted to get some calories burned. As Adriana says, burn those calories, burn those calories. I hope you enjoyed our little walk around the neighborhood. I hope that you guys take me up on my challenge for you to have a walk around your neighborhood. And I really hope that while you're out, you take the list that I'm going to be providing with you guys and you write down some of the things that you're seeing along the way. You could maybe fold it up, put it in your pocket with a pencil or a pen,
And you could either do little drawings and doodles of what it is that you're seeing out in your neighborhood, or you can write it down if you're able to write. So please share that with me at our next Zoom meeting. I would love to be able to see what you guys saw in your neighborhood. It can be surprising what we see in our neighborhood. Today, my favorite thing that I saw was that beautiful black bird collecting little bits of grass so that it could make a nest. And the reason that was exciting for me is because that means that there will be babies coming and there will be little birds in my walk to enhance it at some point. So I'm glad you came along with me today. I really hope that you also submit a video of your walk if you're able to, or even a photo. Maybe have whoever accompanies with you on your walk take some pictures. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed your lesson. Have a great one. Bye.